So here we are with first couple seconds, a little within 11 seconds. So our first initial purpose for this, when I was within this, was obviously here. I'm trying to use the Cupid counter app. That's what I'm doing, it's just trying to get that through. So she was just trying to find some dates for her, but it was just not possible. I think we were on one too, specifically, and then that one failed, and we tried for a second one. It just did not work out. And for some reason, this bat issue shows up everywhere without even the area being made sense for the bat effect to come and make sense, which is a lot of this game. Basically, a lot of it doesn't make sense, despite being a simulator of life. But I think I prefer it more simulator of unnatural life, basically. So we're just trying to, I was getting sick and tired of the bed issues because they can't really, put to be on the same bed or whatever. They freak out if they do that. The other person has to get up. It's ridiculous. But that was my mission. I'm like, okay, the sooner I get them hooked, the easier it'll be with their whole, they won't be falling asleep on the chairs, taking naps on the chairs, or on the ottomans, or on the sofas, basically everywhere except for that gosh darn place that is supposed to be for the bed. And yes, I could have added bunk beds, but it would have looked ugly. And we unfortunately don't even have that many options for bunk beds. Somehow, even after so many years that we got it after, we do not have a lot of options for it. It's ridiculous. But that's just the case, I suppose, right? So for them, they're heroes trying to find some good thumbnails or whatever. Never ended up going through with them. But it was fun, I suppose, to think about it, if anything. And the weirdest thing about this for life and death and this new aspiration with the whole ghosting and then finding out about these things, in general, everyone except the guy who was actually fit for the thing, his aspiration, he needs a lot of it, for some reason that wasn't going up when it was supposed to be working right. But the roommates that don't have that specific, accomplishment that they need for it, and where it's going to be very, very useful, somehow can get their thanatology levels up whenever they want or can, and they will constantly do it. So somehow they would be at a higher level of the thanatology skill automatically rather than the person that I'm controlling, and I want them to be doing thanatology. I'm sure you've seen him through my shorts, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. The one napping over there, hit hand. But yeah, that's maybe a weird oversight by the same teams, perhaps. That's all I can explain it to be. Most likely, that's what it is. So, and then there was this. He managed, or at least to get one skill up, like what she's doing right now. Just that's good cooking skill. So maybe I should change him to a different path in life. But because he's my poster child for it, can't really do that. I would have to go from number 1 again, and I tend to do that a lot, where I'm repeating stuff from before, and I would assume that gets quite annoying if the same stuff is being shown again and again. So I would much rather prefer not to do that, so it doesn't add extra issues with me as I'm trying to figure it out. But okay, since it's such a challenge for him to get it, the reward is gonna be pretty good. when he does get it, at least through the struggle of it, rather than it being something that's super easy. So who knows, maybe it's doing me a favor that I am not aware of, but perhaps it is, and maybe I should acknowledge that. So here I was trying to get things going between these two and all that, whatever, like, yeah. Even when I was thinking about this, going as far as to do that, oh boy, their friendship went up very well, but not exactly anything else. It was weird, but definitely a lot more different to get up that level of relationship than it used to be. So give props to that. At least now it's more thought out, but it's annoying, but it's thought out. Okay, it's more of a challenge, but again, with all the micromanaging and then this annoying weird thing showing up on there all the time and me not knowing how to get rid of it is annoying. And by that I mean the top left corner. So yeah, and I did not like fix the I didn't fix the goals for the date or whatever, or maybe I'm not even on that. I'm on that flipping weird like thing they have or something. I don't know, I just can't figure it out. Talk about, okay, yeah, it's about that. I didn't even I even wasted a freaking potion on her. Oh my goodness. But it's pretty easy to get those points back, so it's not too much of a loss. So yeah, and I think it's on normal lifespan. Otherwise, if it was on short lifespan, I don't think I'd ever even be able to get past even level 2 with Thanatology, if that's what I was up to. Also because I kind of do like a more slower pace, but I'm not someone who's going to be able to make like storylines and stuff, so yeah. Because I mean, obviously now though, the game is very interesting, honestly, with life and death and the other potions. Like life and death really saved this game for me. It really did. Especially when it comes to just it's my jam, and it's just in general the gameplay too. It added a lot of stuff that I personally like, although I hate micromanagement, but it works, and I like that. And it did good where the other previous ones have basically promised more and flopped. This one was kind of like, okay, what's going on? What's really is it going to be about? How is it going to go? How is this going to make sense from day-to-day basis? By showing less and doing that, so far in my experience, this pack and everything, life and death, all that, has been a lot more impactful, a lot more make sense, and things actually being put together. Well, aside from Horse Ranch, like the ones that came up after that were like, they had the worlds, they had those extra gameplay additions, but they didn't feel like new gameplay additions. Most of those things felt like something that should have been at the start, and they were inconclusive. Okay, they weren't inclusive with each other. They didn't make sense. Like pieces of the gameplay with the world setting, with all these other things, it didn't mesh well. And I don't know if it was meant to not mesh well, if they messed up, or they were just being greedy, but 2 and 2 just didn't go together to make 4. That's basically how I can explain the 4 rent, which is only good for a little bit when I wanted to make apartments. It's pretty fun in that. But other than that, it is, well, you guys have seen the issues, I don't need to tell. The romance one, yeah, that one should have had it had penthouses, and I used the penthouse, and I did make a little bit of content from that, but it's not like city living, so it didn't work out well either. because it wasn't cohesive. And thankfully, this one, at least from my experience, is pretty cohesive and work together, and is a welcome addition that doesn't feel forced. And I will not even speak about the letdown that was the Generations pack. That's I still don't use anything from that. People use build mode. I use build mode. I can use those things, but gameplay wise, it doesn't make a difference to me, and there really isn't that much motivation to that, regardless of everybody's hype about it. Whatever, they still, say like, oh, it has these activities, oh my god, they're gonna increase the family gameplay. Everybody like, no, not my cup of tea. And I'll just be honest, it sucks. World is bland, gameplay is something, it's just the epitome of why didn't we have this before, and why wasn't this free. And the world really sucks. Like, why are there no beach lots or stuff like that, like river things? Why isn't there, like, you could have had like even a tiny little animation of like, people being in the little rowboats and going through the river and all these other extra actual things that would require effort. But nope. They just went on the hype for, Generation and just created horrible. Anyways, back to life and death. Oh my god, that annoying pop-up is still there. Disgusting. Now I'm waiting around on the freaking bells, It's like, who should I make? Because everyone was flipping miserable, so I'm like, who's the only one that has a semi-good enough moodlet for them to actually go out and do that, and that I won't regret. So it was Diane, as usual. I feel like she's just one of my most successful characters and actually does feel like my protagonist rather than Leo. But yeah, there she goes. She does everything. She truly does, and you will see. Actually, we won't see, because that one was accidentally deleted. The recording for it and the shorts that I was gonna put for the getting further in the career, in the Grim career. So a couple hours wasted, and it was pretty good too, content wise. So I feel horrible about that. So yeah. And here I was trying again and failing again with those two downstairs. I'm like, okay, he has the flirty moodlet. Perhaps it'll increase. No. Never. And I think this is why I kind of have the most fun with her. Although I do have a lot of fun. A lot, like this real career that they do for the Grim. It's actually pretty, so far, fun and different. Like, it's not majorly like a overhaul and something that isn't like the other careers, life careers, but it just somehow, I guess after all their experience with having life careers, they finally kind of mastered it, quote, on this one, at least in my opinion. I'm just alleging, okay, this is just alleged from my opinion. I don't know how to use that word exactly yet. Maybe I'll find out once I have more recordings of this, alright? But yeah, and then here, like, this, trying again to get them together isn't really working out, but they sure as heck managed to get the physical thing up too. Like, they automatically juggle the soccer balls, which is funny. It's interesting. Like, they automatically do that. They automatically do the thanatology skill. They automatically up the cooking skill. But what I make them do ends up not being the case. Weird. weird. But you know, hey Sims, we would always complain about not good AI for the intelligence of these Sims, but now they're officially intelligent. They're doing everything by themselves. Clap, clap, clap. But now they're not doing what I want them to do. So it's a give and take. You know, it's definitely something. So you know, it just happens. So another person stuck on that. No, she's still increasing the charisma. And for once, I actually managed to get the right skills up. And then here I realize I'm like messing up. Like, why am I getting up the drama skill? It's ridiculous. Did I realize? No, I didn't realize really. But eventually I think I can. So let's see. I am. Well, she took a break. She's like, you know, heck with it. I think everything stinks. Might as well eat. Hey, at least they haven't failed yet when it comes to eating. I don't know if a fire has occurred so far. I don't think it occurred. But like, I'm kind of stuck with that. Like, did the fire occur or did it not occur? I think one occurred, but I managed to turn it off. But I continue to feel like it didn't occur. And if it didn't, yay. Thank God for that. Because that is the number one run ender. Back when I used to do live streams of the Sims 4 gameplay. You know, before all this really brought me back, and it's just like, you know, for once I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it for the content. I'm actually enjoying it. I don't want to do it, and it's a nice time away from the other stuff that requires more of a hands-on approach, I suppose. Sims ends up being kind of like a little comfort play where I don't have to think too much, or I don't have to like push too hard on what they're doing. It's relaxing. Like, I'll be honest, it's so relaxing. Like, if I have a long day or whatever, or I've done a different recording for a different game and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything, or I feel like, okay, I have to do more, I need to be more prepared, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, using this gameplay, like, I can like just kind of shut my brain off for a while. It's like this weird comforting feeling where everything goes the way you want it to go. Actually, no, the opposite. It just happens. But I think like with this one, at least you can put a pause on yourself and just let the game go on. Like, I don't know how to put my thoughts together when it comes to that, but unless it makes complete sense. It's my comfort. It's my comfort game. That's what it is. Something that I can use to just kind of shut my brain off, and you know, I like it in that aspect. Before and even now, I do a lot of like builds, and that was mostly my only thing to do. But now this is actually pretty fun, and I've been doing less builds and more gameplay, so I'm good for that, right? Old decisions die hard. Who do I end up meeting? Once more, for the third time, if you've seen any of the previous videos that I've done, we meet her again, and she's easy, but we don't like being easy. So we're going to probably mess up. Most definitely. I don't know. What was that? Yeah, dates. I've tried that out with so many of the things, but it just never goes the way I need it to go. Or maybe there's just something that I don't do well enough. Now, where is he going? Exactly. Oh, yeah. I wanted to check out the graveyard. the new edition. I wanted to see how it was, and I ended up here. That's why I was here. This is like, even when I was doing it, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing? That's just kind of how it felt, because after all the rejections from protagonist 2, Ashley, I was like, you know what? This guy needs happiness. Let's find it. See if we can find it quickly. Because with her, it's a struggle. She's hard to get. So that's what it was. And somehow they're sitting so far apart and talking. Like, that's so it's so funny, because out of context, or if you're like just showing people just from the top down, and that isn't the if a person isn't actually playing this game or knows how it works exactly or anything, like, you'd think, oh, this is so nice that they're doing this, it's so quote unquote realistic. But when you put the context into it and you're like, oh, they're just doing this thing and they're not exactly following the orders, or not working the way they're supposed to, it's like it becomes an inside joke with the way the AI works in this game. It truly does. So, hey yo, we actually managed for that. So that's something. And now we have a werewolf calling us. So we have a normal human, her. We have Ashley, who's hard to get. We have the vampire Lilith. We have now this werewolf. Ooh, spooky. Who to pick though? Honestly, so many options. Hopefully the one that I just live in with. I had, honestly, again, with Diane being the right person, she succeeded. She succeeded where we failed on every accord. She truly did. Diane is the MVP of gameplay. So yeah, and then this was also another one that I was gonna make the thumbnail. So maybe I haven't even made the thumbnail yet. So this will probably end up being it. Maybe not exactly appropriate for the specific place that we're at and the theme of this expansion pack, but yeah, if it works, it works, I suppose. Is the date done yet? See, now he's getting the Thanatology skill up. He's just so bad at it, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a trait issue, if I look into that. Perhaps if I remember, maybe I'll look into that, but then before the next video comes. It could be anything, really, because I'm not really playing this for story or for progression. It's just, like I said, chilling. And I hope everyone also can chill out with me. So, is this where I end up adopting the kids for Ashley because of her mess? Yeah, that probably occurred on the other one. Anyways, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this and have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe.